How to identify if you really have a true spiritual union. At the moment, the trend is twin flame. We have soul family. They use words like soulmate, karmic. So, in this particular recording, I would like to share insights about how do you really know and gauge a union. Say, when a person, and this is not gender specific or time specific, this is applicable for any age group, any race, anybody hearing from any part of the world, anybody who has got a soul. This is applicable for them. It's not related to any age group or time zone, etc. When you experience a union, um, I would say not weeks, not months, at least 2 to 3 years. I would say minimum of intense work you would be doing. So this resonates with someone who understands what it's meant to be spiritual. If you are on a spiritual journey, it's not a journey really, it's a spiritual walk. And multiple people, I have noticed, used different types of tool sets all together. Their rituals are different, their deities are different. Some of them are not even from Sanatana Dharma, they could be from other dharmic practices. However, soul and the central soul, the para Shakti or para energy, is the same. That's the very same source, no matter which race we come from, what color skin, hair, and attributes we have. We are all connected to our higher self, and all the higher selves together collectively is connected to the Parashakti, the true ultimate source. Some people call it God, some people call it divine masculine, divine feminine. There is like multiple parts to connect to that source point for different individuals. So we are not really deep diving into the toolkit or the rituals or the methods that we use to connect to the source. We are at the a point where you have been on a significant dedication with your soul in the spiritual path and looking for the union with the spirituality or the spiritual self. This will suit you, and understanding how exactly the union feels. So as I was saying before, for weeks and months, and could be few years for some people, you would be having to do intense work, like you feel like you have walked 100 kilometers, but it just looks like you have just done 10 meters in a week. So that's very intense walking, but you will just feel like, just how you do a fire ritual, you put a lot of ghee in it, it just absorbs and you never know where it went. And this is the phase when you are doing a lot of work, awful lot of sacrifices. You have built that spiritual muscle so strong, and you're applying your principles, your values, your core education that went into shaping your soul. Every single thing that you know, you are applying. It could be because you have connected with your twin flame energy, could be your whoever that human format that might have activated. Doesn't matter who it is, but you will notice this kind of symptoms. So you're working very hard, and then one stage you just give up and you just be. So there is no performing part of you and observing part of you. These two things merge into one part, that is the part, the being, and completely surrender to the central source and also to the spirit who is triggering you in the 3D form, that's when the union will start to open the gates for you. And the ultimate thing you will know is when you have a union, you will be so quiet inside, so calm. Like, it's not quiet, I would say, it's absolute silence, like complete silence to the degree it's like scary. And but you find it very comforting and very relieving. You just feel like you're getting cleansed, and you're feeling like you're going to be like you would have no hope. You have no hope anymore, you have no desire, you have no hope, and then you have no wish for the union anymore. You are just there, and in this phase your inner eyes, your inner ears, your all of your chakras, they're all aligned into themselves, because of this state that you are in allows the psychic part of you to connect within in the way that was not possible before. And for someone, um, you can just feel the sunshine, you can look at the moon, just very enjoyable, no complaints. There could be 100 million complaints you can give in a day, but you will have no reason to complain about, because nothing really triggers, nothing really bothers you. Then when you actually ultimately enter to this zone, it just happens like a normal thing, like how a normal conversation happens in this real lifetime. You will see as vivid, as natural the union will come. All the spirits that are involved in this union will appear to you in a visualized, like in your 5D or the higher realms, and you would be shown what exactly is the theme. So if once you have the union, you will understand the complete theme of your life, like the complete characters, what they were saying, what they were doing. It all looks like a play, but it's very drama filled. And now you see the drama of it is extracted, except the essence and the lesson and the experience of that entire union remains with you. Sometimes you can see where in the spiritual space that you might have created separation. So that separation will be visible to you, and most likely the conduct of a spirit which is not at the best is actually either will break another spiritual part and break itself, and hence why they will have these difficult experiences to go through. If you can get to this point, that means you have saved yourself from being separation. So you are in union once, you will be, now the union will strengthen, you will be connecting, you are much closer. So your higher self is in connection with the higher self of the other spirit. And when that union happens, it will show you your shortfalls. Could be neglect, lying, being dishonest, actually betraying another soul. At the spiritual level, when two spirits or a group of spirits are participating in a spiritual project, you have just like how in this body we have spiritual gifts, but we have a body, we have an ego, we just play with, we are in a part of team and we don't play as a team player in that team. Same as in the spiritual realm, if you were not doing a team player, you broke, you killed someone, you killed you, so the other spirit might have got fragmented into a million pieces, and it could have been so wounded that all of the spiritual society had to work on that soul to give it another life. And it takes in human body format, it can take centuries, it can take years, and depending on that individual's approach, every lifetime it can either accelerate or if it can actually deteriorate their progress. So where you understand where exactly the issues could be, are the soul doing to you. But say if there is a crime involved between two parties, one person goes to jail, they are not going to be appointed into the best social jobs after they come back from jail, no matter how well they performed is same like that in the spiritual field. If we make a mistake, if we actually fall short, if we actually do a crime, and create a worst crime scene there, you will be remembered as a bad spirit, and then that follows you into this human format. Here you will experience rejection, will be very difficult for you to get acceptance. You have to really work your ass off, like you really have to work very, 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 very hard. You are like working every single second of your life, every single cell in your body is working so hard, so you can actually arrive to that first ray of sun. Though sun is there every day, but that very first ray that will touch your heart, your being, you will arrive to that point. Could be taking generations, or it could be taking I'm saying generations because you could be one person in a ancestral lineage doing certain things, so it will actually affect your entire ancestral lineage. So this is very difficult to explain if you can't see the spiritual view of this whole way. But if for people who are gifted and working hard and who can appreciate this the view, so it is just not individual, it affects your entire ancestral lines. So, and that could be from different lifetimes. We will be part, our soul will be part of different ancestral groups. So if you have been a bad apple, you would have been rottening the apples in different baskets in different lifetimes. So you're not just alone in this. So there's a community, and hence why ancestral work is absolutely important along with your personal work. I'm just taking a breath here, a moment to process what is coming next for me to share. Yeah. So when once you have a spiritual union, you know that you had a union because you're completely shut down from the outside, from the inside. There is just no more zip from the outside inside. You just have one central zip where you zip one thing. All the things will be locked in, and you will be almost out of action for weeks to days to months, integrating, depending on how big this integration is going to come up for you. So it's definitely not a romantic hate. For few people it may eventuate into that, if that's the format that you have your union planned. But for even if it is romantic or not, still the integration part is absolutely important. You have to understand and align with the new self, and you have to embody that new union spirit. Doesn't matter on the 3D format if um, the other spirit could be your father, your mother, your brother, your partner, your teacher, your donkey. Doesn't matter what is going on with them, but for you, you have to not push, not discuss, but inside you have to start integrating those principles. And for me, one of the first times when I had the union with the very first important theme of my life was delivered when I had the union with the most prime spirit that was having a due to connect with me. And I think Shraddha and Bhakti are the two things that came out very strongly. Like every single thing and every single cell of a human body, or your whatever the all of the bodies that we have, every aspect, every part of it will need to have Shraddha and Bhakti at all times in everything we do. And it's absolutely important. Spiritual hygiene, physical hygiene, hygiene with everything, having a right boundaries. And for me, I understand my ability to say no has actually the most important tool that has actually got me to this. Yes, we have to have a lot of focus, and but ability to say no was I the very moment I had the union, the very moment I was thankful and grateful that I had that courage in me to say no. I would have said no to millions, literally millions of things in life, and really focused on this spiritual union. It just didn't make any sense on the physical life why I would do that. But when I got this fruit of that spiritual union, it really is going to. The only reason I'm sharing my experience is to share with you that this is a real experience. It's a real person having this and sharing a real experience for people who are aspiring to go higher and experience a union with maybe a twin flame, a karmic source, your higher self. For all of this my message applies that there is definitely light at the end of the tunnel, and the light is really worth sacrificing anything and everything that you ever will have to do to actually arrive there. And once you are there, you would really make sure you pick up every single lesson that you have learned from that experience of union. Oh, so much so we learned from separation as we try to tidy up towards preparation of union. The union itself teaches a whole new suite of quality lessons that separation could never teach us. Now it becomes a responsibility, because once the union happens, you are part of a new community. You are welcomed into a different spiritual community. You may get access to spiritual projects. You may get opportunities to get recruited in some of those projects. Now, the mistakes that we did in the previous spiritual projects, we should not be repeating them. Also, learning from other people, other spirits' experiences, learn to avoid making any further pitfalls, because we have to go a long way in the spiritual path. And once you're in union with Source, you want to continue to stay there and not have any further separation. It is a horrible thing. Like staying away from your parents is worse, that you experience a separation anxiety. In the same way, staying away from the source is the most horrible thing.